But yeah, I mean, in terms of concave, like, I mean, I don't think it is concave at all. So I just, that's a very like modern kind of idea and concept that seems to have come like in some recent times. It's not like an ancient thing in that way. And
Realize
just
you were
like,
still talking.
just that we live on a,
Ugh, this is just a wanking thing. Look at this.
I hope my telescope hasn't been hot micing this whole time.
yeah,
You
Jin,
guys
you're
would have
hot
said
miking.
something though.
Jin just said something. What's he even talking about? Jin's mic is
No,
here.
hang on. I'm not hot micing. I'm not hot micing. I'm not gonna lie. That was somebody else, not me.
No, dude, what's weird is that, no, it was you. I think, you know what's crazy about your, I don't know if it's because you're in Japan and Discord goes through a different router or something, but Jin, you were muted, but you were lighting up and we heard you. You said something about wanking or said this is something you were talking about, that we heard that. So,
I did not do that.
what?
No, I just said I needed to know how to do that. That'd be neat.
All right, well, unless somebody played a soundboard again or something, I think it was him. We heard him mumbling to himself.
But Gio, I've heard you go a little bit. I've heard you speak about.
No, but
hold
hold on, well, let me,
like, what is
hold
your
on,
current
let me
belief?
finish what I was saying though. Let me finish, if I remember what I was saying. No, just about concave. I mean, he was asking about concave, and I'm just saying I don't think it is concave. There's no like history in humanity and the ancients having that either. So I mean, it's not like I'm like against it outrightly, but I just don't think it's true. There's no like evidence that seems to support it. So I think it's just like pushing a false idea. But I mean, I'm not gonna like go after people that are into it, but I just don't think it's true, and I don't think it's really gonna help in my viewpoint. But I'm not like against people checking into it or thinking about it. It's cool to consider all options.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I am the same. Can I not speak, please? Hang on. I am the same.
Let him go.
Gio.
Jin, hold on, dude. Let him go, because I kind of interrupted him, man. Hold on. Go ahead, bro.
Right. No. I was just. I don't know how open you're about it right now or not, because
Maybe.
I've heard you
Okay.
speak about
Sorry,
that.
dude. Sorry, I'm stopping you. I know, but maybe actually he wanted to respond to the thing I said about concave first. Sorry,
No,
and then
it's
you're
all
totally
good.
up next.
Appreciate
No,
that.
it's good. Yeah, you can go.
Go ahead.
What were you gonna say something though? Because you opened your mic.
No.
I mean, is that what? Did you ask that though? Let's just finish our thing real quick. So, did you ask that because you're thinking that a bunch of people are going to be going away from a stationary planar Earth, and then they're either going to be going globe or concave? Is that what you think, or is that what you're saying? Is that why you were asking that?
No. I don't know why I asked that, but if I asked you, it's because you're like I can count on my hand the number of flat earthers that are actually I've said this multiple times already. You know, considering and playing around with models, looking at things from different ways. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you. Enough of that.
Yeah, I'm sorry for interjecting on the stuff. My thing wasn't really that important. I was just really curious, Gio, what your current standpoint is. I've heard you speak about the 24-hour sun and a few different theories back and forth. I'm not really sure if you're flat anymore, or I don't know if you're open about it, but we're just a little bit curious where you stand right now, knowing all that you know.
Sorry, dude, could you ask that again? Your mic was like a little bit low. I had to turn my volume up. Could you say that again? Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry. I've heard you speak a little bit about the 24-hour sun, and I'm not really sure where you stand right now. I know you've been like pretty heavy into the flat side earlier. I don't know if you're open about what you are right now, but where do you stand right now? Because you know a lot, and I just want to know where you stand.
Okay. No, I heard you that time. Hold on, Jin. Let me. I think I put the Jin. Jin, just hold on one second. You can go in just a minute, but I just I'll just answer this and then you can go with your thing, Jin, if you want after the. Anyways, okay, yeah, no, I got your question. Well, so first of all, like in terms of the Gleason's map or the AE map, like I never claimed that was the map of the Earth. In fact, over the years I've always said that I did not think that was the correct map of Earth. Not that exact map, anyways. The AE or Gleason's, like it seems distorted in various ways, and so I mean, you know, just because people associate like any type of stationary planar Earth with that exact map, so I mean, in terms of that, or like, and I never claimed that there wasn't a 24-hour sun in Antarctica either. I definitely we commented a lot on the lack of good evidence for it and good data for it, which seems to took many years to actually get more and more footage. I mean, there wasn't really any before like 2014. So even that, I mean, in terms of the sun there and stuff. So it's all pretty new to like all of humanity, basically. I mean, well, to many modern people that are not able to take that trip at least. So I mean, it's kind of new to everybody in terms of that, and that's why, yeah. So I mean, the evidence has been was so lacking for so many years. So I mean, that's definitely in terms of that part of it, but I mean, if you're asking like what I mean, yeah, I absolutely think the Earth has a planar and is at rest. It's stationary and has a foundationally planar geometry, meaning like water is level. I mean, I do have some thoughts about like electromagnetic fields and how that could, in terms of the exact levelness of the oceans. So you have the tides and like in terms of the entire Earth, because if you have the tides, like the oceans are never perfectly still, so they're never going to be a perfectly level. So that you always are going to have the tides, and then you're going to have land coming up out of that water, and then so that's why I usually say the term like foundational planar geometry, because unless you have just like perfectly planar water or like flat water, then what is it's not obvious. You're going to have all the other elevation changes and so on, but yeah, my view hasn't shifted at all in terms of the foundational qualities of the Earth being at rest and having that foundational planar geometry, like up is up, down is down, the X, Y, Z, that we live on a plane of existence in that sense. So yeah, that hasn't shifted at all, but it just kind of filled in more information in terms of the sun in the south, which is helpful. But I think that and then I would also say I think there's a lot more that we need to do to actually test more things and do more observations and more tests in the future to really get more information.
I appreciate that answer. Yeah, that's pretty clear.
Yeah. I mean,
thank you.
the next thing I'd like to do.
Can I not speak now?
Hold on, Jin.
You said I could speak after you.
Oh man, dude, you're coming in like out of control. Let me just finish the last thought I was gonna say. Well, like for example, like so I would like to like measure the distances between the southern continents, for example, to do that independently. So that's like one of the big next steps. Because yeah, like in terms of how the sky is working and how that links to the ground, that would be the next thing to do, is to be able to decipher that. And to be able to follow the sun. Like ideally you'd want to follow the sun, like when it's doing that 24-hour path, follow it the whole time. Be like under it or be in a position where you can actually track it. And at that point, you would essentially be what they would claim be circumnavigating Antarctica is what you'd be doing, going around the outside of Antarctica. Now, whether they let you go up to the shore or whether you still have to do it offshore. But either way, like, if you're tracking with the sun at that time. So yeah, being able to measure those distances, that would be a huge next step. That is just like one of the main next things. Yeah.
Yeah, great point. Jaron said when I asked him, he felt the sun was local and close. How far away, he wasn't sure. But thank you, Jen, and thank you, Gio.
But Gio, you've explained something about the tilting of Earth, and like it's tilting around its the equator line when the sun is set at that point. I've heard you make some argument for the globe model on that point, haven't you? I might be totally mistaken. It might not be that. But it was some sort of tilt around the northern and southern hemisphere around the equator or something.
Oh, well, so you have, there's basically like 3 bands in the sky. 3, I call them bands because it's like lines, you could call them. You have the Tropic of Cancer, the equator, and the Tropic of Capricorn. And from the equator, you going north 23.4 degrees, the Tropic of Cancer. And then also from the equator going south 23.4 degrees, you have the Tropic of Capricorn. And that's what the sun does throughout the year. It moves between the tropics and over the equator. Well, that 23.4 degree difference between the tropics and the equator, that's what they claim the spherical Earth is tilted at 23.4 degrees. So in my viewpoint, they have sort of reverse engineered that degree in the sky, the fact the sun moves in those bands in the sky. They've reverse engineered that and said, okay, in our model, if we're going to make the sun a ball and then the Earth, the Earth a ball and then the sun ball, all those things balls out in space, it's then a necessary consequence of that in order to then have to tilt at the 23.4 to make the seasons and everything work on the globe model.
I got you.
But like empirically, what we actually observe, like, do we observe a huge tilted sphere in any way? That's the question. Is there anything to isolate that that's what it is? Because what we actually seem to observe is just the sun moving, very slowly between these tropics, which is why we get the summer and the winter and, throughout the year. So like in the north, like when the sun is all the way at the Tropic of Cancer, furthest to the north, and everybody in the north is getting that high sun, so it's, they're getting their summers and so on. And so they're saying that's because we're on a ball tilted, but but what we actually observe empirically is just the sun moving in the sky, in slightly different positions.
Yeah, that is true. So I guess you can interpret it in different ways. I feel like the elliptical orbit around the sun is the explanation, I guess, in the globe model for that.
Well, the tilt and the elliptical, is 2 parts. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the combination.
Yeah, because like if you have the sun moving like over a planar surface, if it's kind of pinging back and forth, like from the Tropic of Cancer, equator, Tropic of Capricorn, back to the equator, back to the Tropic of Cancer, it's sort of pinging back and forth like that, and that's why they have to make their orbit elliptical. So the tilt is one thing, but the pinging back and forth is why, like for example, when the sun goes all the way to the Tropic of Capricorn, it's the southern summer, it's all the way there, and it kind of like hangs there, when it gets all the way to the solstice, the winter solstice, it kind of hangs, and then it kind of starts coming back towards the equator. Well, that kind of hanging, as it were, that kind of, what I'm describing it as hanging, that is why the orbit has to be elliptical in the heliocentric model, because it has that kind of oblong shape when you map it over, when you try to map it in a 3D way, like just the thing phasing like that. If you take that and then you map it, it ends up being elliptical at the 2 sides. At the Tropic of Cancer's side when it gets, and then the Tropic of Capricorn are the 2 that kind of have that. It's just the geometry. I mean, what we see is just the sun gets closer and closer. It gets to the Tropic of Cancer. It pauses there in a way, and then it just starts reversing back. But if you want to make that into a 3D orbit in a kind of conceptual way, then you would have to make it elliptical to account for the 2 ends of the pinging back and forth from the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. And then, of course, it goes over the equator. But you have to account for those 2, the pinging back and forth, which makes it then oblong in terms of the nature of the geometry. Hey, Jen, go for it.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah. If you heard me say the wank comment, I was referring to the system I've got here and the lag. Okay, nothing to do with you guys. And then I just wanted to comment on the convex Earth, which is my position is exactly the same as yours. In that anyone wants to follow that, that's up to them. The thing is, when we actually look for curvature of the oblate spheroid, it doesn't reveal itself either way, whether it's concave or oblate. You see, because we look for it, it's not there. The concave doesn't reveal itself. Okay, that's the only thing. So if there was more evidence for it, then yeah, my mind would be open to that. Just like the globe, but there's no evidence for it. That's all I wanted to say. I waited all that time just to say that. Thanks anyway.
So I hear you, Jen. I agree. I'm not opposed to it in that way either. Yeah, I mean, if it was shown to be the case in some way, like I'm just saying, I'm not like in any. Is that what you meant? You're not like ideologically opposed to anything? Is that what you're saying? Like just in general, in terms of
I'm just like in general. You've got to give everybody their chance and listen to their story. Do the devil's advocate. And in the case of concave Earth, when you're looking for the oblate spheroid, it's in the back of your mind. Can you see the concave Earth there? Because and it doesn't reveal itself. That's the thing. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm going to say on the matter.
Yeah, everything seems to level out like in a planar fashion, even with the refractive effects. Whereas like if it was curving up, like Canigou, for example, those really long ranges, like Canigou would be way up in the sky, or you'd think it'd be heightened.
Would be an interesting existence in a concave Earth. It would be interesting because you're in like a bowl now. So that would be quite interesting as up to the curving inside a bowl. That would be quite interesting to live in, I think, to be honest. Of the 2, I would prefer to be in the concave Earth, actually. I don't know, maybe some security there, I don't know, but seems good. Okay, that's all I say.
Yeah, I mean, all those geometries with the tropics and the sky, like those are all extrapolated from the sky. That's the thing about the whole heliocentric globe model. Like it's pulled from the sky. So all those things I was just saying, like what you can empirically do is you can walk outside and just look up at the sun and then track it as it moves between those bands. Like I was saying, the equator, Tropic of Capricorn, Tropic of Cancer. You can go outside, point to it, you can watch it, do its thing every day. So like empirically, you can just see this light moves across the sky. But in the globe model, they then are extrapolating those qualities of the sky and then putting them into this whole model that, of course, they're claiming is the truth. But that's the question: is it only a model, or is it actually what they're claiming, which is the physical reality?
I do feel that the powers that shouldn't be actually know, because we do have the technology to follow that somehow. It's possible to do this easily. The military, the Air Force should have done this by now. They must know. It's possible to know that actually.
All right, we're coming up on a couple minutes to the ISS. Comes up at 8:23, so about 10 minutes out.
Oh, are you doing your live stream, Seafoam?
Real soon.
Oh, cool. I'm actually kind of excited to see that.
Yo, this guy actually sounds like the guy who talks for NASA. Can you tell us everything's nominal real quick?
Everything is nominal, actually.
You got an actually and a nominal with that. It was a 2-for-1.
Who doesn't love a twofer?
You do have a very unenthusiastic sounding tone right now. You're like, yeah, the ISS is going to be over here. Yeah, it's going out in space millions of miles an hour. No big deal.
Once you've done it enough times, you're just like, yeah, it's a thing. It happens. Tends to do this.
You Yeah, it ended up where even his own partners were like, dude, you're not even letting her finish. You're just like cutting her off in the middle of a sentence and like totally freaking out about it.
But you talked with him? You had an engagement with him?
No, he just made a video based on a live stream that was done in here where I was just talking to people.
Right. Yeah, I know. He does that. Yeah. He has these like what, well, he used to call him, what did he used to call, there's a bunch of names he's had for him. What was the
land of misfit toys.
Yep.
No, I was talking about, you said it was like numpty clips or something you used to call it? Numpty clip? Is it still called that?
Yes, Gio, you're right. I'm sorry. I don't think this is the land of misfit toys.
Are you one of the toys?
No, I'm not a toy. I'm not a toy. I was just trying to say that's what Kiwi calls us here. Is the land of misfit toys. Yeah, we all put it.
Like it on set.
Really track this, which is not question.
No, of how many, like kind of like magnetic attractive energy when it comes to like new ideas and being able to kind of go through some of the stuff at such depth like this. That attractive energy to it.
Well, I'd like to say that
theory, then up and down changes again. Like
here after 10 years, Gio. 10 years I've been here. And my life gets better every day.
All right, so it just faded out. I'm really sorry that I couldn't show you guys it live. I did.
Hard drive?
I really don't know actually.
Really? Oh, okay. There's two types of hard. Okay, yeah, probably if it's a newer system, yeah.
Well, what I meant about, I think maybe it was 2 times ago then, but yeah, at one point I think your laptop battery died and then you had to put it through your camera or something. That's what I meant, but no, it's
So,
but
Brain on bread, scintillation.
yeah, that is the right
Never
word
heard of
too.
it.
That's a good one.
Never heard of it.
Well, it's oscillating. It looks like it's underwater, dude. I don't think it's just nothing out there, like a vacuum of space. I really don't.
Not anymore. Yeah, likewise.
Well, there's air between us and Jupiter, even on the globe model, so it's not a vacuum between here and there anyway.
Yeah, but Matthew, the difference is like, okay, so obviously if we're on with a stationary planar surface, you have whatever that is above us. Whereas the globe model claims that you go up, out, you go, and then you leave a ball, you go through this huge vacuous thousands, billions of miles, and you get to another ball, and your down changes, like your up and down changes. Like when you're on the Earth, you have up and down. When you go out in space, the up and down goes away. When you fly all the way, then when you get to the Jupiter, if you were to land on it in theory, then up and down changes again. Like that's the whole thing that is a huge leap, with something that none of us have empirically validated, to actually build a whole worldview on it. In my view, it seems like a huge leap.
Yeah, it is a huge leap.
But you're happy to do it anyways?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to say that things outside of the Earth are outside of my experience and may be different than my intuitions dictate.
So you go against your intuition to believe them that they're actually going there?
Bingo. Yeah, my intuitions aren't a valid or aren't necessarily a reliable access to the truth.
What about your God-given senses?
Yeah, same thing. My senses are great, but they are also faulty when determining if Wi-Fi exists, for example.
I thought you guys were being rude and ignoring me. I was muted this whole time.
My senses are great for detecting Wi-Fi.
Ah, now that you're unmuted, now we can actually be rude and ignore you.
Yeah, good. Thank you. I want to know you guys are intentionally dissing me.
That one's a lot more clear.
Yeah, tonight's actually a really great night. I didn't know it was that good. So
Are
that
you saying
moon,
you can see farther without refractive indexes? I'm just kidding.
I'm saying with a less turbulent atmosphere, you can get a lot more detail. So that
That's
moon
for
down
sure.
there is Io. And then if we go in this direction, we're going to see Europa and then
I see
Ganymede.
it. Dude, it looks
And-
like it's magnetically locked in place.
And you can actually see visually here, Ganymede is the largest moon of Jupiter. And you can see it's actually physically bigger in the frame here.
How can you say that that's gravity holding those three objects together in unison like that? Like that looks like it looks like it's locked magnetically, dude.
I mean, I'm no
Honestly.
Yeah.
astrophysicist. I've not studied gravity. I can't tell you anything other than just what I've been told. And that moon there is Callisto.
You're kind of above
So we
the
have,
frame. Oh wait, are you showing a moon?
yeah, it's
Oh, right
in
there?
the middle.
Okay, I see it.
That one's Callisto, which is the farthest moon of Jupiter.
You're making me realize I have to clean my screen.
But then we can cut back the aperture a little bit.
Oh yeah, I see. Put it up
Sorry
just
about.
Are you closing it or opening it when you do that?
Well, not my aperture. I say aperture. I just mean my shutter speed.
Isn't that cool when he doesn't move the telescope? How you can see this the motion that it's making, the actual like sidereal.
Well, no,
Well,
my
in this
telescope
case,
is
it's
actually tracking tonight.
Okay, well, what's
Oh.
the?
Can you increase
That's
the,
me.
are
That's
you
me
increasing
moving
it to
my
make it
mouse.
brighter?
No, when I increase it, at least for my computer screen, it comes over blown.
Oh no, it looks good for us.
Really?
It's just on your that's just a lighting on your computer then.
Okay, so I'm gonna go trust my camera, the screen on the back of my camera, because it looks really good on my camera screen here. But yeah, tonight my mount is actually tracking, so I don't gotta go wobbly wibbly on it.
Could you increase the shutter speed again and see if the moon pops up? Or make it bright? Yeah, okay. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, this is as bright as I can get it. And then I can also zoom in on the planet, and then it changes.
Pretty evenly. It's very evenly lit.
Yeah. When is Jupiter's opposition? That's a good question.
Yeah, how is it even? Like, is there a shadow cast
There
on Jupiter?
is. There is. When it's near opposition, that means it's opposite the sun to us, so you're not going to see a shadow. But I do have pictures of Jupiter where you can definitely tell there's one half that has a really clean, crisp edge, and the other side fades out into a shadow. Let's see here. Opposition. I guess the next opposition is January next year. When was the last opposition?
Is that black line on the telescope?
Yeah.
Yes. I have a little bit of dust, unfortunately.
Yeah, sun opposite Jupiter.
Yeah. So right now, I believe the shadow is going to be on the top side of our screens here.
The last time was roughly around December, middle of December, 2024, basically right when they landed in
Yeah.
America. Around that time, middle of December, it would have been sun opposite Jupiter then.
Mhm.
Is there any other
So, like-
areas you can get in the sky right now?
I can go to Mars, and then the moon is rising above a tree.
But any other
But,
luminaries? Just curious. Even if it's
Saturn's below the horizon, Venus and Mercury are too. So it just this time of year is Jupiter, Mars, and the moon in the
Well, what
sky.
about? Can you not see any other stars? Further stars? Like even
Oh,
if
I
it's
can
not
go.
clear.
I can give you a billion freaking stars. Name one.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm saying just I can't name. I'm not familiar. I'm just saying, do
Okay.
you have any bright stars in the sky?
Let's see
I
what
have-
Polaris looks like when it's in focus.
Sure. Let me go to Sirius first, because it's on the way to Mars, kind of.
On the way across the galaxy.
Yep. We can get Sirius, Mars, Moon, and then we can go to Polaris.
I've got a thought. Like you said, when you can zoom in on that and you can see a really crisp edge on one side and like a foggy edge on the other.
Yeah.
Is it still circular?
Sort of. Jupiter isn't really all that circular. It is oblate. It's visibly oblate.
Yeah.
Uh,
My thought of that was
but-
just like when you see an eclipse and you're looking at the ground at your shadow, you know? Have you guys noticed that as the eclipse starts to come in and it's almost to like say totality or partial, whatever, like one side of your body will be super crisp line and the other side would be fuzzy. And as it goes into the eclipse and then passes through the eclipse on its way out, that image flip flops and it goes crisp on one side and foggy on the opposite. Have you
Yeah,
noticed?
so what's the source of it? Yeah, well, the source geo is me. And yeah, stacked. Probably 30 seconds stacked is my usual. But you can definitely see how on the picture I posted in the live stream text, the left side has a crisp edge, while the right side fades out into an almost bluish color. But the outer planets have much less of a defined shadow than the inner planets. Like Venus has phases like the moon, it's crazy. But the outer planets, they just kind of switch their shadows. I like Saturn because you can actually see the shadow casted on the rings from behind. And past opposition, you can watch the shadow change sides. Let's see, is that?
I mean, I wonder if that crispness shifts, like say halfway through the year, and then it's on the opposite side for 6 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's opposition is the time when the shadow flips. So technically, every time there's a full moon, that's the moon at opposition. All right, so here is Sirius. And my telescope isn't very well collimated.
Oh, dude, that is awesome.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So my
Nice.
telescope isn't collimated. That's why there's that rainbow effect, the chromatic aberration.
Looks like a butterfly.
I've seen Sirius like that. That looks like Taylor's videos.
If I let's see.
Dude,
Yeah, if I up my exposure, you see how the donut hole isn't in the middle there?
right, but if you focus it, it actually looks like that sporadic.
I actually
Yeah,
have videos like it too. I can show you guys.
The problem is
So that's overexposure, right?
this is out of focus, but I'm just trying to show you guys how that donut hole isn't in the middle of the donut shape, which means my telescope is out of collimation and it actually can't physically focus. So when I'm done doing this here, I'm actually probably going to get out a screwdriver and collimate it because of how good a night it is.
No,
But
yeah,
it's also,
that's amazing.
it's also low to the ground. 2. So there's a lot
Like
of
right there, right there,
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah,
Where's
let me,
This is amazing, dude.
Wait, go back. You had it there, perfect.
Yeah, that was sweet for a second there. That was awesome.
yeah, this is about as good as focus I can get right now. If I go to, well, next to Mars is Castor, and that's the brightest star in your zenith. So Castor should have much less of a scintillating, however the heck you pronounce it. That's a big word.
Scintillation.
So yeah, let's go up to Mars,
Twinkle,
and
twinkle,
then
little star. Yeah.
and then we
So
can
wait,
go
do you really
to.
think that that's 8.6 light years away?
It might be. I don't know. Again, I have no way to test it. I know they do test it with like redshift and stuff, but I don't have any equipment.
This is Taylor's videos right here, Seafoam, and this is from like an observatory, and she's videoing it, like videoing the lens through her phone.
Well,
What's his name?
I need to ask, how do you want your name pronounced? Because I am pronouncing it in my head 32 different ways, and I want to know the right one.
I want to hear it.
Well, naively, I want to say beasticles, but that doesn't sound too great.
That's what I'm talking about. That sounds good. It's a good one. I would do it.
That might be it.
It's
I might want to go Greek, in line with the stars. Go Greek and do Beasticles,
There you go. You're getting it.
or maybe Beasticles, something like that.
That works too.
I'm gonna stick with beasticles because it's the funniest one.
So basically, that star that you just like, serious, that was serious. That was serious, right? Is that...
Yes, it was.
So it's roughly 48 trillion miles in the heliocentric model.
That's insane.
Right there. Oh, I lost them.
There's so
48
many.
trillion.
Where the heck did
You
Mars
just zoom
go?
into it.
Well, I can't zoom into it.
You can
It's
see
so
shadows on
big.
Saturn from trillions of miles away. No problem.
See, when you're this zoomed in, it's hard to get things in frame and then keep them there.
Yeah, no, I don't blame
Especially, especially I'm near zenith. I'm freaking cranking my neck at 90 degrees, trying to see through this finder scope. Okay, there we go. Let's turn down my slew speed.
When you focus on, say, Sirius, and then if you would go to the moon, is it the same focus?
Roughly. I might have to change. That's what I personally think is happening to me with the ISS, is that because the ISS is so much closer to us than the moon, when I check my focus on the moon, I'm not getting focus on the ISS.
So it would be between the moon and us, obviously.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you can. Let's see.
Your webcam utility thing went down or whatever.
Oh, okay. Thank you for telling me. You can see the ice cap really well tonight, and you can hear that dog really well too. Check out the ice cap on this puppy.
No, but the zoom thing was an interesting question because, yeah, like if you're zooming into a star and then you go over to the moon, if they're dramatically different distances, would they really zoom like very similarly?
I mean, the light is roughly. I have found it actually that when I look on the edge of the moon, the center of the moon seems a little bit out of focus.
I've noticed that with my cheap little telescope I paid like $100 for.
I can see the ice cap really well. It's on the left side, not the left side, the right side. Well, I think
What are you looking at?
the polar ice cap. It's going to be on the right side. It's a white.
No, what? What is?
Oh, this is Mars.
Oh, that's Mars.
Yep. It's much smaller than Jupiter in the sky.
Wait, and how do you know that's ice?
How can you tell that it's much smaller?
Well, how can you tell it's ice?
Well, I meant like smaller angular size.
Right.
But again, they call it the ice cap because it looks like the ice cap on
To
Earth.
me, it almost looks like it's the same distance away, but literally just a smaller angular size.
Could be. Again, I have no way to test it.
Right. But like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's pretty wild that you can zoom in on it and get like the same kind of resolution as Jupiter, yet it's supposed to be way closer.
Well, yeah, it's way closer, and if it's way closer, that means it has to be way smaller too.
Right. So it's all based on angular size, but man, that's a
Well,
a lot
the
different,
speed.
though. It's a
Well,
lot of
the
different.
di-
I mean, it's like they claim 140 million miles between Earth and Mars versus that 48 trillion. So 140 million miles versus 48 trillion. Oh no, wait, sorry, 48 trillion was Sirius. Jupiter. Never mind, that was Sirius with the 48 trillion.
Well, one of the indications of the distance is the speed of its orbit. So the period of Mars on an annual basis is much faster than the period of Jupiter and Saturn, indicating they're at much farther radii in their orbit.
Yeah, but it's
They
all
claim
just a ratio.
They claim 484 million miles for Jupiter, so 140 versus 484.
Yeah, but it's just ratios.
Okay.
Like you can put in whatever distance you want, and the ratio will remain. You know, it's just a ratio. You can put whatever you want.
Yeah. The ratios are typically the Earth-Sun ratio or distance called the AU. And
Yeah.
then the ratios. So Mars is at the, whatever it is, 1.5 or 2 AU. In Jupiter, 3 or 4 AU. Yeah. It's all ratios. Yeah, got it.
Yeah,
So
how'd they get the
so the
first AU?
distance, yeah, so the distance to the Earth-Sun has been figured out, and then that figures the rest of it.
You mean assumed?
No, figured out.
Yeah, assumed.
That's what AU stands for, assumed.
You can disparage, hundreds of years of academia because you don't like it. That's, your choice, your option.
Oh, don't take offense, buddy. It's an assumption.
Yeah, and I suppose we can confirm that NASA confirmed the Mars distance, right, by landing on it.
And I was just making a
What is
joke. I
that?
wasn't trying to disparage the AU, even though it is an assumption. But I was also making a joke because
What is that, Seafoam?
This is the star
Whoa.
Castor. It's actually a
What?
double star.
Bro.
So, to my naked eye, it looks like one dot in the sky, but when you zoom in, it's actually two stars right next to each other.
Dude, that's how did they create that whole paradigm off of this observation, dude? That's insane. That
Well, many people didn't have this optical zoom back then. Like in Galileo's time,
it just was a dot. Yeah.
he had 33 optical magnification eventually. But
Bro,
now we have. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that looks like one singular light source in two different layers of a firmament. It looks like two different it looks like one light source shining through two layers of water. That
Well,
is
not all stars are like that though.
I'm not saying they are.
Yo, has
And
this guy got Polaris up yet? Let me know when he's got Polaris up.
Yeah, let me go
Can you
hit up the
actually see it?
moon. Oh yeah, I'm in the northern hemisphere. It's at 43 degrees for me.
Can we act?
I can.
Is it possible to see it tonight? I'm just curious.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just gonna go get the moon next.
Can we
'cause
save
I'm
the moon
trying-
for last, or is it about to set? Or
No, it's rising. I can go to Polaris.
all right, cool.
If you guys really want it.
We're taking a trip through space.
Appreciate you.
That's
Actually-
crazy how the shape of those two stars was like almost the same.
I
of
know,
both of
dude.
them.
Like one light
Yeah, that
source
was so
shining through
cool.
two layers.
They look like
Well,
they look like little
Like a pane of
fractals.
glass.
They looked fractal. They were like very similar but slightly different, but definitely looked to be like have like a similar archetype to them. That
well,
was
there's
so cool.
there's another really famous double star in Ursa Major, which is right next to Polaris.
You know about the most famous triple star? Is a triple one.
I don't know what the most famous triple star is.
Oh, it's called Polaris.
Actually,
Oh, Polaris.
I think I can definitely see Polaris B with this telescope.
Polaris
I know
B?
for yeah, so Polaris is another double star actually.
No, it's a triple. It's a triple. They say it's three.
Now
Okay,
that
well,
I would like to see.
At least with my
You
scope,
only see
can-
two?
Yeah.
Which
Let's
one's the
see.
actual? Which one's actually above the north, though? Is there one that's more above the north than the other one? Like,
Well, Polaris is about 0.6 degrees away from the actual celestial pole.
it's 0.7. No one's counting, no. But which one's more above? You said Polaris A, or like which one's more above the North Pole?
I guess whichever one happens to be closer at that time depends on how it's positioned in the sky.
Hello. You tell me the North Pole has 3 pole stars and the South has none.
You guys get nothing down there. You're bums.
Funny
Not
that,
even
eh?
one.
What are the chances?
It does seem to imply more of a reflection, doesn't it? Of some sort. Just that alone. That's like
It's just getting
a different
refracted in there.
center. Yeah, like it's not the same type of center.
It's pretty wild.
Okay.
What we got, Seafoam?
All right. So, unfortunate news, Polaris B is too dim to see with the current setup I have. I'm too zoomed in.
That's okay.
Because the more
Whatever
you zoom
Oh,
in,
your
the-
webcam thing went dead again. I don't know if you knew that.
yeah, I had to do a meridian flip and I didn't want to yank the cord out of my camera.
Smart.
Cause,
I mean, I don't know if you can get more nerdy than this. We should be saving this for like a Friday or Saturday night or something so we could really get crazy.
Well, this is probably being recorded. Maybe.
Well, not that I
Potentially.
want to derail. I don't want to derail onto this, but looks
Oh.
like the day has come. Jaren is now doing a live stream with Wolfie 6020. So
Oh
Yeah, I
wow.
was thinking the same thing.
yeah, there it is.
There's
Is that Polaris?
Polaris. Yep,
Yo.
that's her. Let's see if we can get the motion. If I
Look at
stand
that.
back and leave it still, I wonder if we can see it move through the view. Oh wait, no, because I am. Let me turn off my mount. My mount is off, so it's not tracking anymore.
So what you were saying the rainbow color is because of your setup? But what color would it be if that wasn't the case? Or if that you were saying it had to do with like the
Well,
collimation?
It's like half collimation, half just its altitude angle, because the lower a star is, the more atmosphere it goes through, so it gets more distorted.
Yeah.
And then also, since my scope is out of collimation, that means I can't get real good focus on it.
It's awesome though. It looks like a living creature.
That thing looks so cool.
Yeah, but that's Polaris, and I just knocked my mount. That's what it looks like.
It looks like water. We all know that it looks like water.
Yep. It really
To me, it
does.
looks like a light underneath a pool, like underwater.
Exactly. It looks like light underwater. Like we've all seen it.
Why does
Definitely.
it keep doing that?
The shimmering, the shimmering qualities, and there's like a
Well,
lot of different effects that correlate with the way lights can look in water.
The mainstream's actually changing their idea now of it not just being empty and there's superfluid, and it's filled with superfluid. They even did some thing just now. Sabine was talking about it, about how no one's like up in arms about this because modified Newtonian dynamics and had a prediction, and dark matter had a prediction, and the James Webb just found a thing, and it matches modified Newtonian dynamics more than it does dark matter.
All right, let's go to the double star in Ursa Major, because these ones are pretty far apart, but still not resolvable with the naked eye.
I can hear your mount zooming in or whatever. I can hear it.
Yeah, it's kind of loud. Wish it wasn't.
No, dude, it's dope.
Oh shoot! I just leaned down my volume button and you burst my eardrums. All right, let's. Yep. Freaking A. Okay, I gotta start remembering when to slow down my slew speed. There we go.
Here's a random question while you're doing this, but Beast, do you think like if you were to go up in altitude, how high would you have to go, and how much curvature would you have to see? Like, would you have to see the whole thing as a ball or anything like that to even like rock any foundations? Like, random question. I know it's out of the blue, but like how high? Like, if you only saw like some curve, or would it have to be like half or the whole thing? I know it's a completely random question, but I brought up that Blue Origin thing because they claim for like 150 grand you can take that trip, and it's like 350,000 feet, which is like 3 times what the other high altitude footages are. But anyways, yeah, but like in terms of that, like it's what they're claiming you can see. But yeah, like what do you think on that? Just kind of random question why he was getting it set up.
I mean, I'd have to see curvature, like to believe the numbers of the circumference, like how big Earth actually is. I'd have to see curvature way early on.
Yeah, but what are you gonna see though? Because even on a flat Earth, like on the globe, the horizon is just a flat circle around you, and it gets bigger as you go up. And on flat Earth, it's a flat circle around you, and it gets bigger as you go up.
That's what I'm saying. Like for me to believe the dimensions of the ball, I'd have to see curvature way early on to correspond
high
with all
does
the photos and everything.
How high does Blue Origin go? Do you know that number off the top of your head?
I think they went up what 60 miles.
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
like to the Carmen line, they claim.
Yeah, so I did a rough estimate of what kind of curvature I would expect. And about 60 miles up, you would start to notice some left to right curvature, according to the globe. It wouldn't be like ultra like, wow, that's a
gonna be
big
the
old
same-
circle below me.
It's gonna be the same thing on a
faint.
flat Earth, though. You're above a circle on both of them. On both the models, you're just above a flat circle. So, like, why
Yeah,
would it
but
be
Jeremy,
different on a?
no, I hear you, but have you seen some of the photos of Blue Origin? Like, it looks pretty curved. Like, it doesn't just look like a hula hoop circle. It looks like quarter of a ball. Some of them.
Well, I sent you
Now,
a
maybe
photo
some of
from
those are
inside the
like,
cabin.
maybe some of those are like media shots or whatever. Yeah, that I've seen, but
What about
Yeah, I
Geo from
definitely.
the cabin? I posted them in the side chat in the live stream text for you guys.
Not so random question, maybe. What is it exactly that you're getting set up that we're looking at and looking through to see what we're looking at?
Oh, this is just my DSLR camera through my telescope. And now we're on to the main event, which is the moon event.
all right. We see a black screen right now, though.
Boom.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
you gotta clean your lens.
I know.
Is it possible to clean without messing anything up, or no? We just have to deal.
Oh yeah, it's possible to clean. All right, let's go to my favorite part, which is the south. Oh, South Pole is other direction.
Yo, could you imagine we catch a lunar wave right now?
That would be fun.
I hope we catch an alien.
see, it looks like plaster on the side of a wall. It just doesn't look like a huge, expansive landscape. You know that you could land on that. It looks more like plaster on like a wall.
Bro, the one guy came in here one day and he was describing it as like BB holes, like glass got shot with a BB gun or something, bullet holes in glass.
Well, yeah, that's
on the
why I
moon.
talk about it being a crystal, a celestial.
Remember
crystal.
that?
It's
Remember when that guy was
crystalline.
doing it? I can't unsee that
Yeah.
now.
Well,
Wait, can you
Jerry,
zoom out a
Jeremy,
bit?
It
there's
definitely
another
doesn't
theory
look
that
like
water.
the other.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, hold on. Can you
I
zoom
was
out
just
real
saying,
quick?
the moon definitely looks different than other lights in the sky.
Yeah,
Look at that.
that's true.
Yeah,
It is
Jeremy.
unique.
Oh, sorry, guys. Jeremy, there is another theory that water hit the moon from the flood, from above and below.
Yeah. Since
Yeah, and some of the ripples through it look like a crystal, look crystalline.
Yeah, since it's so close to a full moon, there's
Like-
not really a lot of great detail to be seen. It's really just
Can
flatly
you zoom
lit.
out?
This is as zoomed out as I can get right now.
I knew
But,
the moon was flat.
Let's go to
changing my
the center.
center. That's the Plato crater.
Yeah, see, like those lines, the way that like fracture lines, like fissure lines in crystals. This looks similar to some of those fissure lines. And then also crystals can emit light when you expose them to UV.
I don't understand how you could have like perfectly circular craters with the moon face locked. Like, how are those impact craters?
There are
not
hexagonal
coming in
craters,
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
and those craters, all of them have little dimples in the middle, or little like crowns in the middle, indicative and exactly comparable to any kind of electrical arcing.
Yeah, I've seen the test with the balloon and paint. Pretty wild. You ever seen that? Where this guy like
Nope.
coats this balloon in paint and then puts this electrical arc into it or whatever, and the paint starts bubbling up, and it looks just like the surface of the moon. It has those dimples and everything. I think it was what's her name? Truth? Can't remember her full name.
I posted one of my sources anyway. But yeah, if you got yours, I'd love to see it.
I think she posted it. I gotta find it. But when I was watching it, I was like, whoa, it's pretty interesting.
It's crazy to think that like that many craters hit that thing if it's like a fourth the size of the Earth, and the Earth doesn't look anything like it.
Well, the thing is, they'll say it's erosion. Erosion wiped them off the Earth, but the thing is, with the moon, the things that were hitting that were made of platinum, silver, gold, nickel, all
And they
types
all
of
just
precious
happen to miss
metals.
us, though.
All types of precious metals, and now they're all just sitting up there.
If you look at it to scale, I'm sorry. I do apologize. I was gonna say
Jeremy's
if you
just
look
thinking
at it
about mining
to
the moon. That's all he's thinking about.
yeah, if you look
Well,
at
it's
it to
all up there.
scale, the
It's the
Earth
easiest thing to get. All right, go ahead.
the Earth is not a good protector of the moon. Like if you look at it to scale, again, at least according to the globe model, the Earth is not going to protect the moon really at all from any meteors. And then also, the reason there's so many is because the moon doesn't have an atmosphere. So it doesn't have a way to burn up the asteroids before they get to the surface.
Right, but how come they're all like circular? Like I don't see any impacts that have lines. Like, you know what
Well,
I mean? You
if
impact
we
at
go to
an
the
angle, you're gonna have a line, and then not to mention, you never really see new craters forming.
well, yeah, there haven't been enough big impacts to see that. If it were less of a phased moon, I could show you an actual line of craters. But the reason they're circular and have the divot in the middle is kind of this. It's kind of like if you drop something into water, you know how it splashes outward and then there's that jet from the middle. When
Yeah,
a
I see what
really
you're saying.
high velocity, high energy, massive asteroid hits the moon, there's going to be a lot of heat that arises. So it kind of melts the rock a little bit, and it does that splash, and it kind of freezes in place mid splash.
Does the splash make a hexagonal crater?
No, they're all circular, mostly all circular.
Okay. Well, the hexagonal ones don't have the splash. They are just, just totally flush. I posted a picture.
Yeah, let me see. A hexagonal moon crater?
Yeah.
Think of how many.
I think you should look at the link that I posted.
Oh, interesting.
Think of how many meteors we see, go across the sky every night, and if that is all floating up there and coming at us, and if it's how are we not seeing that at the moon still? Like we should be seeing impact craters on the freaking nightly,
Dude,
because there's nothing to
you
burn
want to
them
hear
up.
this? You want to hear this crazy stat? They say 15 million meteors, micrometeors, and meteorites hit Earth a day. A day. 15 million. Now they're all getting burned up in the atmosphere, and we're good. But on the moon, I mean, we should be seeing some stuff pop off, right? I know. I feel you.
Yeah, all the time.
There have
why ain't
been
it popping off on the
instances.
moon?
There have been instances of new craters forming, but it does kind of rely on the belief of the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, because otherwise they're too
We're getting
small to
hit
get.
15 million times a day, bro.
Check that out. That almost
The
looks
moon should
flat.
at least be getting hit like 100, 1,000 times a day, something, 10,000 times a day, something, right?
Gravity. Great point, Jeremy.
Like, how are we getting hit 15 million times a day, and the moon, something happened 15 years ago or 37 years ago or some, you know what I'm saying? It should be popping off daily. I like that guy's point, whoever said that before. Who said that? I'm writing it down.
Well, like a
So
small
close.
micro meteorite is like a grain of sand.
Okay, some
Like
of them aren't a grain of sand though. Some of them are the size of a quarter, and when they're going that fast. When they're going that fast, it doesn't matter how small it is, right? You guys claim you're propelling rockets from gas.
yeah,
That's the
and
tiniest thing you can get.
there have been observed lunar impacts, and then the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter has went over those sites and saw a new crater.
I'd like to see
Were,
that video.
were they on the visible side of the moon?
Yeah, people from ground
Mhm.
telescopes saw a big white flash on the moon, and then the LRO went over that spot and found a new crater.
I did see that video the other day that Seafoam's talking
Remember
about.
that video?
And they found a piece of sand in the middle of it.
Yeah, I would like to see that crater. Somebody pull it up. Can you pull up that story, please? That's actually, I need to see it right this moment. No
So,
delay.
Can we get this man a crater as quick
No, I'm
as
serious.
possible?
I don't want anyone to divert.
No, I've seen the
Doctor.
video. You know the video he's talking about with like a little flash of light?
I don't care about the video. I want to see the actual crater after the fact.
Yeah, it's too small to see with my telescope, which is unfortunate.
What,
But
do you know
in
the name of it?
I don't know the name of it.
I'll look it up.
Have you heard of the one that they claim happened during a eclipse, a solar eclipse? Which, of course, is interesting from the electromagnetic perspective.
Yep.
But basically, the crater wasn't there before the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse happened, and now the what they call a crater is now there. After the eclipse.
They call it Punticulent G or whatever. I'm saying that wrong.
What?
I wonder if you can.
Ponticulant G.
Did they say that like the alignment made the gravity pull it in or something to line it up and?
Oh. Okay, I want to see it.
This is what it looks like in a little GIF.
Nice.
I wonder if you can get the. Does it tell you the latitude and longitude of it?
Do these numbers mean anything? M144754. Anything like that? That just could be the camera name. I don't know. All it says is this image is 1 to 100 meters wide and the lunar is north up. I posted the whole website there. Image enlarged 4 times, centered on likely Luna 25 crater.
Your camera's not on.
Okay.
Seafoam.
All right, so this crater, this new crater, it has a bunch of spots around it. It's a brand new crater. When did they have time to get hit by a bunch of new material?
I think it gets hit by a new material all the time. It's just none of them are, well, not none of them. A lot of them are just way too small to ever detect.
So it wouldn't damage the astronaut suit.
I'm looking at them. So
Right,
you're telling me all of this scarring and all these little dots and aberrations were just when did this thing get hit?
I guess it's saying during Luna 25.
When was that?
Couldn't tell you.
Good thing it didn't hit the rover.
Okay, this was August 23. August 23. So 2017. Oh, okay. I'm looking at.
Hey, that's my birthday.
Okay, whatever. There you go. Happy birthday or whatever.
In August.
Yeah, in August. Okay, so I posted this picture. This is it, supposedly. There's many different angles of it. Look at how weathered this thing is.
What? That's the Ponta something or other.
That's what I found. Yeah.
Can you like spell that? I might be able to see. I might be able to see that specific crater, but maybe not like the Luna impact crater that happened inside of it. Maybe that's what happened.
some French name.
G.
Well, let me ask you this: when they add G at the end, is that just like one of the dots inside of this crater?
It might be. I don't know. I'm not. I've never looked into.
I couldn't tell you. I'm not French.
Yeah.
I remember
Okay.
bringing that. There's no new crater things up, and it's like, yeah, you do kind of just have to take the LRO's word for it.
Okay, so here we go. Here we go. No, it was in 2023, bro. August 19th. It says the Russian Luna 25 lander crashed on the inner rim of the Ponticoolant G satellite crater following a technical issue that prevented it from performing a soft landing in the target destination close to the lunar south pole.
Okay.
The impact site lander has been described as a POC. An official title to this impact site has not yet been assigned by International Astronomical Union.
That's the moon is 0.501 degrees.
So, okay. So G, I think, is just one of, it's 36 kilometers. Yeah, it's one of the little pots. It's one of those. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, I won't be able to see that one specifically. I might be able to see that Ponticoolant, whatever, yada yada crater though.
Mm-hmm. So, oh, you got it? Okay.
I'm just trying to see what my telescope can see.
I don't think we're gonna be
So,
able to see it with your telescope. No worries, bro.
yeah. I just actually don't know like what the like
This
what
thing's super
mile
zoomed in.
wide.
Okay, so man, you've posted the actual location, and I'm looking at it. It is just as weathered as everything else. I don't know when that was taken.
Okay, so I think what it's saying is the Ponticoolant crater is an established crater on the moon, and then inside that crater, the Luna 5 spacecraft crashed in it.
Oh, so that's how they confirmed it by
Okay.
crashing into it? Did they take photos leading up to the crash?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
well, okay,
don't
so
know.
this crater, I mean, it's 37 kilometers. So what is that, like 20 miles around?
Yeah. All right. So I did
Um,
some math, and apparently my telescope can see. It can resolve
yeah, there's
every
no way.
3,600 feet. So the smallest area I can resolve on the moon, theoretically, is 3,600 feet.
So that's
No shit,
just
really?
over half a mile.
We might be able to
Okay,
see
so
it.
yeah, you should be able to
0.7
see it
miles.
then. You should
Yeah, let's
absolutely be able to see
see.
it. This whole thing is about 20 miles around.
Yeah, let's see if I can find the Ponticoolant crater.
It's near the South Pole.
Yeah.
You needed more American hate in your voice.
Seems interesting that they crashed something into it without maybe taking photos or videos.
Well, these are the supposed photos.
Oh, okay. But nothing closer?
I mean, I don't know, bro. Just going by their paradigm and examining it.
Okay. Right. All right, so I found it on my Moon Globe app, which is good. So let's see if we can find this Ponticoolant crater. So let's do our best here.
Okay.
I don't think I can. I don't know if I'll be able to find it just because of how flatly lit the friggin' moon is.
It's all good. We can zoom into where it's supposed to be, regardless. And get as close as you can. That'd be cool.
I mean, if they did like claim to be able to go there, like especially with all this technology, how could they ever land on like the front side of the moon that we see, and we couldn't be able to see them if they really were with our own equipment like this? Why couldn't we be able to?
Yeah, because the
You know,
angular size.
if they really were landing there.
Yeah, the angular size would be way too small. Okay,
I
think
heard that they can
oh.
see with the new telescopes that they can see in terms of resolution one candle lit. Like if you had a candle on a plate and you put a plate between each candle, you can resolute each of those candles. Like that's how good the resolution is now. That's what I've heard. And that was like in 2018. And the reason why I heard that is
So-
because they were able to do that, you know, in the opposite direction with microscopes.
Am I streaming? Can you guys see that? Yeah, so right around here is the Ponticoolant crater.
Yeah, nah.
Lit. There's no way to make out its outline. But it is right in the center. All right, I'm gonna go and get some videos of Mars and Jupiter.
Yeah.
That I can so I can stack them.
Cool. Thanks, Seafoam.
Yeah, you're welcome, guys. And then
That was
tomorrow
actually pretty cool.
Tomorrow night I'll
Appreciate
be
it,
out
man.
here
Super
with
cool.
the eclipse. Oh, did I wait I waited too long. Jupiter's behind a tree. All right, we're gonna.
Ah, sorry, bro.
No. We can fix this. We can do a pro gamer move.
Oh, you're about to laterally move your stuff, bro? Oh, snap.
Yeah, I'm about to pick up my scope and just move it. It's like that scene. You guys seen SpongeBob where the town's in danger, so they just push it out the way of the danger? That's what I'm about to do.
Nice.
They're like, why don't we just push Bikini Bottom out of the way? All right.
Funny.
Pro gamer
All right.
move incoming.
That was super cool of you. So for clarification, that crater was always there. They just claimed to have landed in it, right?
Yeah, so the Ponticoolant crater is just one of them things that's always been there. And then
I'm talking about
crazy.
G. Yeah, I think G was always there also. I don't think it was like a new crater. It doesn't look new.
Yeah, I have no clue about crater classifications and stuff. I gotta go inside soon. My hands are getting numb.
Nah, get that Jupiter footage, bro. Don't give up.
I'm not giving up, but I'm cleaning up real fast when I do get it.
Oh, yeah. It's probably cold where you're at.
It is real cold where I'm at.
What is it, like 10?
I don't know. Let me check. Let's see here. I know I can see my breath like Antarctica. It's 39.
You said 3?
37
Oh, that's not that bad.
Fahrenheit. About close to 0 Celsius for everyone else on the Earth. People.
Listen, I like Fahrenheit because I read the book Fahrenheit 451, right? I'm going to use Fahrenheit.
Yeah. I should have gotten Jupiter while we were looking at it. That kind of.
You're breaking up a bit, but it's all good. You'll get it.
Yeah. It was also a little bit higher then too, but. Ooh, it's just barely not in them trees.
They're in the trees. They're in them trees.
They're in the trees.
Just slowly shaves face without any hair.
I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. And for some reason, they're speaking Vietnamese.
I don't know what you're referencing.
The Lorax in the Vietnam War.
Nope.
Because you said that you never read the Lorax
Nope.
by Dr. Seuss.
No.
Wow. I'm sorry you had no childhood.
It's cool. I heard some things about Dr. Seuss. It's all good.
He was a little racist.
Heard he cheated on his wife when she had cancer with another woman.
Yeah, don't meet your heroes, kids.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll record a big video of Jupiter, maybe a minute, and then I'll do my classic.
Cool. Well, thanks, man. Thanks for the
Yeah.
live stream.
Oh yeah, no worries. I love doing it.
Now, let's argue about Coriolis, shall we?
You go right ahead.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Jeremy got all excited. Did you hear him get up? He got up out of bed for a second. He's like, "What?
Where
Coriolis?
is he? Where? I don't see it.
Where?
I don't see where. It's like a sleeper agent. This code word.
Anyway, later, peeps. Thanks, Seafoam. That was cool.
Yeah. Ooh, doggy, it is cold out here. I'm gonna get Mars and dip. Now, how long was I out here? I got out here at 7:30. Dang, I've been out here for 2 hours doing this. That's not
Yeah, dude. No, thanks for doing it. That was awesome. It was awesome to see all that. It was really well done.
Oh wait, am I a dumbass? Did I formatted my card that had the ISS video on it. Oh well, it wasn't gonna amount to much anyway. It's all good. Did I really? Yeah, I did. Huh. Oops.
You just deleted it?
Yeah. I force of habit formatted my SD card without thinking.
Coincidence?
Well, I showed the video live here, so.
And then erase the proof. We're on to you, buddy.
Yeah, okay, I'll tell the truth. I got the text from NASA. They said we didn't have the solar panels right. We can't have this being released.
Sleeper agent.
Could you propagate a lie like that for any dollar value, Seafoam? Let's say the CIA came to you and they hired you and you worked your way up the ranks. They thought you were a perfect candidate because your talent. So they bring you into the inner circle and you're offered access to all the classified information. Are you willing to let's say lie to your neighbors for money?
Depends on the amount of money and how big of a lie.
Or the globe?
Of the globe wasn't true?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I feel like that's a really inconsequential thing to keep up if I'm going to be making big stacks.
Some people would definitely do it for money. Look what they did for cigarettes.
True.
Plus, in my opinion, I don't think I think potentially they can use mind control and through means of coercion, hypnotism, they can get someone to I guess within under their control. I think so. U.S. military, they have access to all the top psychologists. Like 9/11 would be a perfect example of having to perform a cover up, and then you'd have to pay your agents to help propagate that propaganda. So it would just be like that, but on a much greater level. I guess like the astronauts had to do it. If they were going to fake the shape of the world, they had to either become hypnotized or they chose it with their own free will to dupe the population.
Welcome back, America. I'm so happy to be home.
Yeah, happy you made it, Stace.
I literally just landed on the plane still, so I'm happy I got a connection, you guys. I am back in the States. I'm so happy. Thank you.
Did you see the curve?
Zero curve the entire way, guys. Zero curve. For over and out.
Seafoam's going to be traveling soon, so he's going to get a chance to see himself.
Well, Seafoam better look at the sky when he's looking outside because he ain't gonna see no curve. He's gonna see a flat horizon. See y'all over there.
Where's Dad?
Thank you, Stace.
Love you guys.
Oh yeah, likewise. Thanks for all you do. We need you. The truth needs you. You're influential.